Wait for some people to tune in here. Ooh, I think I'll take donut shop. Let's see the donut shop coffee come out. So we've been blessed by my work to give us this coffee maker. And it's loading. And it's fresh beans. So this cuts down the cost of coffee time for me. We're gonna get started here. Gotta have my coffee. It's coffee break. Good evening. We're gonna get started here. A little bit of coffee. That shit's piping hot. I stuck my finger in it. So we're gonna reverse this screen somehow here. Oh, this way. See, I'm getting better. Yep, the mouth of the South, the man without a plan, the master of all disasters. Here we go. Where do we start? There's a lot of bullshit going on in the world today. But we're still gonna start with Canada, because that's where I'm at. We'll get to the Ukraine in a minute. So, the Senate was voting against the War Measures Act, and in the 11th hour, Mr. Trudeau knew his cabinet was going to be voted down. So he came out trying to look like the hero, okay, and got rid of this War Measures Act, which is a joke, okay? Should never even happen to begin with. So he tried to save some face, but the whole world's seen it happening. He's a clown. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. The Senate stood up for the people. So I always thought the Senate was useless in Canada. It was useless. That's what I thought. Keith Roche's, yeah. But obviously, they are a sober thinking chamber, and that's what their job is, right? To be impartial. And they did a good job anyways by voting this War Measures Act down, which should never even happen. Mr. Trudeau looked like a clown to the whole world, and he still does. Now, I'm hearing reports Convoy Tamaya is dead. I don't believe that. Don't believe what you're hearing. Fake news is putting shit out. She ain't dead. She's well and alive. She has court tomorrow morning. And that's misinformation. And there's a lot of I'd say purple hair people out there. They need not to apply, okay, when it comes down to the misinformation. Because a lot of people are trying to put shit out there that's not true and right, refuting this and that. Like I'm watching last night when I got home from work, the Ukrainian episode that's going on in CNN, CBC. I don't get much TV on my box, but it's garbage. And you can hear the anchormen going, you can hear the bombs. Well, I couldn't hear them on TV, but they couldn't see anything, right? So that's why I don't know what was going on there. Something is definitely going on there. And we got to get some live footage of it. Don't use your teeth. Smoke screen. Yeah, everybody's got one. And it's pretty sad, right? You got the AM 800 group out there, which is Bell Media, I think, but they're shit. At the end of the day, everything they say is not true. I don't believe anything. That's why it's tough to believe what you hear on the news nowadays. Because I know somebody who took journalism school, okay, and went through college for it. And in the first year, okay, they are taught, it's sort of like an oath, to have integrity and tell the truth, okay, and report both sides of the story. We don't see any of that going on anymore. So a lot of mainstream media has lost their integrity, And that's just the way it is for a lot of people, right? I don't believe what I hear on the news anymore. I think it's fucking made for TV. Now, I hear Sean Penn's in the Ukraine. He's not doing a movie, he's doing a documentary about what's going on there. So, if that's true, kudos to Sean Penn. Now, as for the Ukraine mission, okay, I've come to this conclusion. Now, this is me. Vladimir Putin, he's been around for a long time. He's going to be around for a lot longer. Okay? He told NATO, do not set up NATO on my borders, or there's going to be consequences. And what did NATO do under brain-dead Joe Biden and fucking the turtle Trudeau? They set up NATO. Now there's consequences. They put the people, and I feel very sorry for the people that are in the Ukraine. Okay, there's a lot of good people in the Ukraine. They put them people in danger. People are getting killed now. Now, reverse the scenario, and let's say Russia wants to set up on the Mexican border or the Windsor-Detroit border. What do you think America would do? Now, God bless America and my American friends out there. They are a war power, but Russia, believe me, they're no slouches, okay? They have a well-oiled machine. And a lot of people are going to get hurt, plain and simple. This is not Afghanistan. You see what happened in Afghanistan after 20 years. Nothing. They left billions of dollars worth of fucking equipment for the Afghani people. This is not the Middle East. See what happened there also. Okay? It's worse in the Middle East than it was with Saddam Hussein. And I know a lot of Iraqi people. Look what happened in Somalia when they went. Nothing got accomplished. So if you think something's going to get accomplished here, you're wrong. Now, the biggest threat of them all is China. And when you got China salivating like Pavlov's salivating dog at Taiwan, we got big problems, folks. Because if China jumps in with Russia, now it's all hell breaking loose, right? I don't believe in what the Trudeau government is saying, not for 1 second. How can you believe him? He's been a liar all this time, and he's nothing but shit talking, right? Tells his own people they're Nazis for saying the word freedom and waving a Canadian flag. Wrong. So when the Liberal government of Canada, the one in power, our fearless leader, I'll tell you what, 20 years ago, I would have put on a Canadian Forces uniform and joined the Army and did the right thing. With these creeps in power, the only support they're going to have is from the NDP and the Liberals. So all you tough Liberals and NDP fuck supporters out there, get your combat boots on and your fucking C7 or whatever it is, weapon, and get to the front lines. That's the suggestion I got for you. Now, the poor saps that are already enlisted, okay, 3,400 of them are getting conscripted today to go to the Ukraine. There's going to be a lot of body bags. And Canada better bring a lot. They have no business meddling in other countries' businesses. And by the way, he gave them $400 million last week as a loan. We ain't ever going to see any fucking loan payments back on there. The Ukrainian government is just as corrupt, if not worse than the fucking Canadian government. And that's corrupt. So don't believe what you're hearing. Putin don't want the UN in Ukraine. Simple. The UN's pushing their way in. And it's all false hope because at the end of the day, I mark my word, okay? The UN's not going to be in the Ukraine. So for them to even give the Ukrainians false hope like that is wrong. And at the end of the day, it's all about minerals, right? I'm going to read the comment here. Russia and China would destroy, Russia and China would destroy in a heartbeat anything that gets in their path. Mr. Trudeau should mind his own business. Support the Ukrainian people, the good people, but the corrupt government should be laying down. Now, I heard that they armed all the Ukrainian people, but in the same token, I seen one of the longest convoys of cars trying to get out of town. Neighboring Poland, Romania, Lithuania, wherever, all around there, right? The Balkans. It's sad what's going on. Yeah, NWO exposure, yep. New World Order exposure. You know, we got the United Nations planes seen in North Bay last week, and we got these cops that are in Ottawa that don't even speak English, that are on 20 different types of steroids. I know a steroid monkey when I see one, and I've seen a lot of steroid monkeys down there in Ottawa and in Windsor too. You have UN forces in Canada? Wow. Everything's under control. Trudeau's got to step down. He ain't ever going to step down. He's too proud to step down. He thinks everybody likes him. But if you look at his Facebook page and you dig through his Facebook page, anybody that has anything nice to say about Trudeau, creep them. Take a look at where they're from. They're from elsewhere, not even in fucking North America. 95% of the people that say anything nice about Trudeau on his own fucking Facebook page are not even from this country. So if that's stoking the fire, I don't know what's not. So I'm going to get into some podcasts. I'd love to get into some AM radio. I got a lot to say, and some good guests I would come on too. Speak nothing but the truth, and that's what I'm about, right? I'm going to give it to you the way it is. Met a fella today on Facebook. He says, I accepted him as a friend. He's going, oh, Leo, you're the best. This and that. You're all good things. And he says his social media credit score is going to go down by adding me on YouTube. But he says, I'm doing it. It's well worth it. Not bad free coffee out of our machine, by the way. I could drink it. The more money, yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a lot of scandalous shit going on in the world, guys. Maybe this is the purge. All I know is Vladimir Putin has nuclear weapons. And that's something to think about. So if anybody was to set up, like I said, set up a fucking Russian base in Mexico or on the Canadian border, I'm sure America would have something to say about that. So this is just the meddling by the New World Order or United Nations, the cabal, trying to tell people what to do. You see it in our own country, the seizing of bank accounts. Now they're seizing bank accounts from Russia, from the Russian corporations and banks. Not a good thing. Not a good thing there, Justin Trudeau. You know, when it looks like Red Dawn over top of Canada and we got planes flying in from China and Russia and they're invading, I think you guys made a big mistake then, right? I'm not saying Putin's a good guy. I don't know. Maybe he is. He's been there 20 years and he's going to be there another 20 years. So sort of like the Chinese, the director of China or whatever now they call him in China, the president of China. He's been there a long time and he's not going anywhere. Kim Jong-il, another one. He's not going anywhere. But Trudeau's going somewhere. Yeah, all the minerals and shit that are in the Ukraine, uranium, copper, gold, zinc, everything, right? Russia, Ukraine was part of Russia, okay, for a long time. And when you shut somebody's oil off, which they did, the pipeline, Russia's pissed. Now imagine if we had the Keystone pipeline going on, which we should have, okay, and we shut it off to America, they'd be pissed. They'd be pretty pissed too. Don't think it wouldn't go unnoticed. Right? So I look at it like that. It's my point of view. What do you guys think? It's coffee time. I'm not silent. It's funny, I went to Ottawa with a couple. And she's a nurse, Ann, and her husband. And she said, you know what, I don't want to be rude, Leo, but it's an 8-hour ride. She says, you never shut up for 5 seconds the whole ride. You made the ride pretty enjoyable. And I laughed, right? I said, well, my wife says that too, but she tells me to shut up. I talk too much. But I'm just speaking the obvious. okay, with the Ukraine matter. And what's going to happen in Canada next? I hear there's a big rally going on in Toronto this weekend, a big, massive one. So this is far from over. It's going to take 3 flushes to flush down that big turd, Doug Ford. He's a big boy. Gonna need one of those big toilets and a plunger. Right, so it is what it is for him. I hear he's backtracking now, trying to backtrack on all the shit, come after people's. He likes the idea of coming after people's bank accounts. If I was a lot of people, I'd be pulling my money out of the fucking banks ASAP before you wind up like the Ukraine. Because if there's a cyber attack, folks, which there's going to be, how do you get your money out of the bank? How do I get my pay every 2 weeks from work because I'm paid bi-monthly and it's electronic? So shit's about to hit the fan, and there's nobody to blame for it but NATO and Joe Biden. Do people think Joe Biden, he ain't got the balls, okay, to get into conflict with Russia? He invited Russia last week and said, well, if you're only going to take the 2 states, that's a different story. So it was like giving him permission to take the 2 states. They're going to take it all. And can you blame them? You know, we got 2 sides of the coin flipped over here, and I don't believe anything from either government, from Biden or fucking Trudeau. Not for a second. Not after the shit I just seen in the last 6 months, in the last year, last 2 years from Trudeau, 3 years, 4 years. If he wasn't a minority government right now, we'd be in big trouble, folks. It'd be huge. So you guys know what to do. Subscribe, share, check this shit out, right? I also met a guy today online. He's from Canadian Forces Base at Esquimalt, and that's in Vancouver Island. And we're having a chat. He wants to call me and talk to me. You know what? I always got time for the veterans and the active servicemen. I'll make time for you guys. And I told him, I said, the only uniform I trust is the green one right now. And that's our Canadian Forces. I don't trust them big steroid monkeys that were coming in from fucking Italy and wherever else they're coming from. The real deal. And you know what? I look at it with a sober sense of thought. I don't drink much. I don't do drugs. I smoke maybe a little bit of pot once in a while. I don't go overboard with it, right? But when you see the news and they're giving you the other, I can't wait for Sean Penn. If Sean Penn's in fucking Ukraine doing a documentary, this ought to be good, guys. Really good. And Christine Freeland today on CBC, see her, she's just jittering like fucking, yeah. I know a junkie when I see one. Just go down to Drewlard Road in Windsor, fucking Hastings in East Vancouver, Toronto, Junkie Row, even Hamilton. Hamilton, what's that park? What's that park, Keith, in Hamilton? But there's junkies everywhere, and I know a junkie when I see one. And she's fucked up, boys and girls. Big time. And it's pretty sad. She's the fucking face. She's a deputy prime minister and finance minister. Her fucking dad had to co-sign for her house. That's how bad her credit was. She's no junkie? What is she? I wish I could read these comments a little bit. My eyes are... Oh, you know what? I think I could now if I did that. Yeah, she's I don't know what's going on. Maybe Tourette's, I don't know. She's tweaking. Something's tweaking. But she's deputy prime minister and also the finance minister. I don't know, how do you get those 2 positions at once? Let me see. I'm going to try and blow that up. I want to read that. No, it won't let me. Not that way. My eyes are shot. I'm getting old, folks. I'm at the end of my rope. This cowboy's at the end of his rope. 52. If I live to 62, thank God. 72, I don't see it. So who's getting their combat boots ready and their fucking camouflage paint on their face? There's my war face. And you know what? It's funny how we've been in this lockdown and the government tells you to stay in your house, put your mask on. I was once a reservist for the Essex and Kent Scottish down here in Windsor, Ontario. And we were being trained, this is 1990 or 89. Okay, we were being trained for, it was called WNBC. Weapons, nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare, okay? And when we did that, they were peppering us, okay, for what the future has has in store. We just got hit with a biological weapon called this COVID shit, right? Chemical. We just got hit with chemical in Ottawa when they were spraying people. My daughter got sprayed in the eyes, and nuclear, right? So we have a nuclear power named Russia that's not going to bow to the West. They're never going to. They're not going to bow to the West. They're going to keep going, and it's going to not end for a long time. So people should be listening to Putin. You put the troops on our borders facing America, and we got problems. So with all that being said, folks, I got to eat my lunch. Arby's today. Arby's. And share this, and we got the meat. So get it while you can. The convoy in the States is going down. I think March 1st, they should all be around Washington. Then that should be interesting to watch. But like I said, Toronto, there's a big march going on. I'm going to check it out. That's the Banfield kid, yeah. His mouth. Want to see him?
Hello.
So I'm doing this from my work on my phone. This is my apprentice.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, man.
You're with the mouth of the South and the little mouth of the South.
Little mouth of the South. And then there's the baby mouth of the South. So with that being said, share it. It is what it is. Subscribe. You know.